So we come to the fourth important decision, place. What do we mean by place? When the goods are made available at right time, in right quantity, at right place, it is what is known as place. It involves two decisions, physical distribution and second is channels of distribution. When we talk about physical distribution, we talk about movement of the goods from the place of production to the place of distribution. And when we talk about channels of distribution, we talk about the wholesalers, retailers and the various chain in the people in the chain of distribution. So we're talking about the intermediaries. Now, when we talk about physical distribution, there are some activities which need to be done. The first activity is order processing, second is transportation, next is warehousing, and the fourth one is inventory level. Let's come to the first one. What is order processing? Order processing is whenever you go to any place, what do? First of all, you place the order. And what do you expect? You expect the order to be on time. It has to be speedy, it has to be accurate, otherwise what you get irritated, you may not buy the product, you may leave from there, you go for alternative product or whatsoever may happen. So the first and foremost thing is order processing. Let's read through physical distribution. The physical handling and movement of goods from place of production to the place of distribution is known as physical distribution. Important activities of physical distribution are order processing, means order placement. This is the first step. A good public distribution system provides for speedy and accurate processing of orders. In case slow processing, there's a slow processing means the order is not given to you on time. The goods will reach late to the market and in wrong quantity maybe. This will lead to customer dissatisfaction and danger of loss of business and goodwill. Of course, total danger of loss of business and goodwill. People will not buy the product. So order processing is very, very essential. When you receive an order, immediately fulfill it. Transportation, movement of goods from the place of production to the place of consumption. It creates place utility and there are some factors like cost, nature of product, location which affects transportation. Movement of goods from the place of production to the place of consumption. Until unless goods are made available, sales cannot be made. So the factors affecting transportation are nature of product, cost, location of target market, and it creates what kind of utility? Place utility. We've already done this in function and otherwise also we have been doing transportation since time immemorial, probably in your social studies since 5th standard or 6th standard. Warehousing. It means the other name is storage. It creates what kind of utility? It creates time utility. It refers to act of storing products. Of course, there's a time lag between production and sales. So what you have to do is you have to store the goods in between. Meanwhile, at some place or sometime the demand is seasonal, then also you need to store the goods. Now, you have to keep in mind the cost of storing as well as you have to keep in mind that what kind of goods you are storing. Like for example, if you are storing agriculture products, it has to be near the production sites. If you're talking about bulky goods, they have to be like at different location and maybe near to the market. So that depends upon how you're storing the goods. Refers to the act of storing product. This creates time utility. There's a time lag between production and sale. Therefore, goods need to be stored. Larger the number of warehouses, less time it will take to cater to the customer, but your cost will go high. The more number of warehouses you have, it will be easier to serve the customer, but costs will go high. So location of warehouses is also to be kept in mind. For example, agriculture products near to the production sites and bulky goods are to be kept in different locations. Next we talk about is inventory level. Inventory level is talking about the inventory to be kept, that is the stock to be kept. We have to keep it in mind that our capital does not get tied up. We have to keep in mind that costs don't go high and we have to keep in mind the customer satisfaction. Higher the level of inventory, higher will be the level of service to customers. They will be very happy. Why? Because you have stock stored in for as and when customer demands, you're providing the goods. Of course, cost of carrying the inventory will also be high as a lot of capital will be tied up in the stock. Balance need to be maintained in respect of cost and customer satisfaction. That's what I told you in the beginning of this introduction to inventory level. Okay. Next, we are going to talk about factors affecting inventory level. Firm's policy regarding level of customer service to be offered. When we are talking about this, higher level of services, you need more inventory. Lower level of services, less inventory. So if you want to cater to your customer at all the times, you will keep more inventory. As and when customer comes, you provide the product. But in case if you're not interested, the customer comes, if you have the goods, you give it to him. If you don't have any stock available, just tell them we don't have any stock available and you're not worried about the customer services, you may keep less inventory. Next, cost of inventory. Cost of inventory includes cost of manufacturing, warehousing, holding costs. Now, if the costs are high, please keep less inventory, because you don't want to add up to the cost of the keeping the inventory. Now, because that will be capital will be tied up in the stocks as well as warehousing costs. So all these things have to be kept in mind. In case costs are less, you can keep inventory and you can cater more to the customers, a higher level of services. Third, degree of accuracy of sales forecast. Now, if you have accurate forecasts, your sales forecasts are very good. You know that during the time of Diwali, more production is required, more sales will happen. So you make that kind of production and immediately sales happen and things are over. So less inventory are required. But in case your forecasts are not very accurate, inaccurate, you need more inventory. Why? Because you're not sure when people will demand and how they will demand for the product. Last point comes is responsiveness of distribution system. So if you're talking about if it takes more time, lot of time to respond to the demand of the people, please keep the stock ready. But if you take less time, there is no need to keep the inventory. Why? Because as and when your order comes, you process it and you give it. So your order processing is very, very quick. That's all about physical distribution and activities. Next, we'll switch over to is channel of distribution, types of channels, and furthermore. Starting with the next topic related to place is channel of distribution. Like I told you, channel of distribution means the path through which ownership as well as possession of goods and services or goods passes from producers to consumer. Basically, goods passes from a producer to consumer. Of course, we are talking about shifting of the title, ownership. Channel of distribution are set of firms and individuals that take title or assist in transferring title to particular goods or services as it moves from producers to consumers. So this is what is channel of distribution when we talk of including the intermediaries who help in taking the transfer of title from the manufacturer to the ultimate consumer. Now, when we talk about channels of distribution, there are two channels. One is direct channel, the other is indirect channel. Direct channel is zero level channel. There is no intermediary. Of course, we are trying to sell it directly to the consumer. Like we have our own retail houses, or we go in for internet selling. That is a way of selling the goods through zero level or direct channel. Types of channels of distribution, direct or indirect. First we come to is direct channel, that is also called zero level. It's directly from manufacturer to the consumer. It is the most simple and shortest mode. That are the benefits of direct channel. The goods are made directly available from manufacturer to consumer. So there is no intermediary. There is a direct relationship between the manufacturer and consumer. There is no intermediary, also called zero level channel. Examples are selling through own retail house, own sales force, mail order house, and internet selling. This question came in 2011 as a board question that gave examples of direct selling, and this was for 4 marks. Can you believe that? Well, anyhow. Next we come to is indirect channel. What is indirect channel? Indirect channel involves intermediary. It can be one intermediary, two intermediary, or more than that. So when we talk about the indirect channel, there are 3 types of indirect channel: 1 level, 2 level, and 3 level. Let's read through. It means making goods available to consumers by employing one or more intermediary. It is of 3 types, like I told you: 1 level, 2 level, and 3 level. So we talk about 1 level. 1 level is only one intermediary, that is retailer, is used between manufacturer and consumers. The consumers are final users. Manufacturer are the people who manufacture the goods, and retailer is the intermediary. Now, example, Maruti Udyog uses its own company approved retailers that we know they are the retailers. We do not have any wholesalers of Maruti Udyog. Now, the benefits are it enables manufacturer to cover a wide area and retain control over the channels of distribution. Second is 2 level. In this level, we have wholesalers as well as retailers. It's usually taken up for the consumer goods, and it's the most commonly used method. So in this channel, wholesalers and retailers function as connecting link between manufacturers and consumers. Consumer goods like soap, clothes, etc. are sold through this. Benefit, it enables to cover large market, and second, it's most commonly used method. So the next one is the 3rd level. 3 level here. Now we have one more intermediary out here, that is the agent. The company or the firm uses its own brokers or agents along with the wholesalers and retailers to reach to the final consumer. So here 3 intermediaries are involved vis-a-vis agents, wholesalers and retailers. Example is manufacturer use their own selling agents or brokers, and when we talk about benefit, cover a wide market, and when manufacturer carries a limited product line, it helps to increase sales. See, we cannot exactly, they can be agents, like for example, Nestle has agents as well as distributors. The Lay's wafers comes through agents and distributors. So companies invariably may use any kind of these agents in different, sometimes when you import and export and you have agents doing the work. So that depends upon which kind of company are you dealing in. That's where 3-level channel comes into. So diagrammatically, manufacturers to retailer to consumer, 1 level, manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer to consumer, 2 level, manufacturer, agent, wholesaler, retailer, and then consumer, 3 level. Next, we are going to talk about factors affecting. Alright, as promised, we have come to the factors determining channels of distribution. There are 5 factors: product related, company related factors, competitive factors, then we have market related factors and environmental factors. Now I have written out here, if you notice, IDC and DC. Now IDC and DC, it does not mean I don't care or I do care. It means direct channel and indirect channel. Direct channel, shorter channel; indirect channel, longer channel. Direct channel, no intermediary; indirect channel, 1, 2 or 3 intermediaries as per the requirement. Starting with product related factors, first is type of product. In type of product, maybe we are dealing with industrial goods and consumer goods. When we talk about industrial goods, they are technically complex, they are made to order, they are expensive. So we need direct channel. I have given an example out here as X-ray machine. But when we talk about consumer goods, they are standardized, less complex, they are less expensive, less bulky, not technical. So indirect channel, like for example, soap. Next is nature of product. Goods are perishable, non-perishable. Perishable, like fruits and vegetables, we deal with direct channels, whereas with non-perishable like toiletry products, soap, oil, etc., indirect channel. When we talk about unit value of product, we talk about low value or high value. Low value, convenience product like toothpaste; high value like jewelry. So when we talk about, that is gold. So when we talk about convenience product, we usually buy it from the retailers, indirect channel, but jewelry we buy it from the manufacturer usually. So there is a direct channel. Degree of complexity. Now if you are technically complex product or non-complex, technically complex product like engineering goods, machines, etc., direct channel, because you need to know, they need to tell you how to use that product. But whereas non-complex like soap, nobody is going to tell you how to take bath with the soap. So indirect channel, you buy it from the intermediary. Next comes company related factors. We divide into, again there are 2 points. First is financial strength of the company and the second is degree of control. When we talk about financial strength of the company which has more funds and can spend more on the channels usually deals in direct channel, that is, which can open up its own retail outlet. So financially strong companies do that, whereas financially weak company, they involve intermediary. Not that they are financially weak, they don't want to spend much money on the channels of distribution, so they take the help of intermediaries like agents, wholesalers, retailers, etc. Next we talk about is degree of control. So if you want greater control on middlemen, right, you use direct channel, but when you want less control on middlemen, indirect channel is required. Now you'd say, ma'am, less control on middlemen, we can use lot number of intermediaries now, we don't want to control them, a free flow of goods, right? That is called company related factors. Next is competitive factors. See, you have choice to choose the same kind of channel which the competitor is using to give it a edge to him, to give him a competitive edge, or you can choose a different channel so that there is no competition at the time of distribution. That's your choice. So channel selected by competitors, it can be same channel, you can choose the same channel or you can choose different channel. Again, depends upon policy of the firm whether to go for same or different channel. For example, competitor has direct channel, firm may choose same or may go in for indirect channel. That's purely your choice as a firm. Next, market related factors. Market related factors, again we have 3 points out here. Size of market. If the size of market is what? Small, where that means when you're talking about small number of buyers are there or large number of buyers. Small number of buyers are there in industrial goods, so we usually go in for direct channel, whereas large number of buyers are there for convenience goods like toothpaste, etc., toiletries. We go in for indirect channel. Then geographical concentration. If your buyers are concentrated in one place, you usually prefer direct channel. But if they are widespread all over the country, then indirect channel, of course, we use intermediaries. Size of order. If the size of order is small, we use what? Indirect channel. If you have to go and buy one toothpaste, you will go to the retailer and buy, not to the company who is manufacturing the toothpaste. But if you are dealing in, basically if you want bulk order, you want a large order, you go to the direct channel. Of course, you will go to the manufacturer, buy that in bulk and come back. So, size of the order also makes a difference. Last is environmental factors. When we talk about environmental factors, we talk about the economic condition of the economy, of the country, of the place, of the state, wherever you are, or of the place where you are distributing your goods. And again, if there is a boom in the economy or there is a recession, if there is a boom, indirect channel, you don't bother how your goods are to be sold. You just let somebody else take the charge over, you give it to the wholesaler, retailers, distribution is happening, money is coming, everything is going on smooth. In case of recession, direct channel, you try to create your own outlet, try to convince the customers or consumers, please come and buy the product, or you make sure that they come and buy the product. Last is legal constraints. When we talk about legal constraints, if there are more legal constraints, you use direct channel. You don't want to involve intermediaries because a lot of money will be spent, and legal constraints will create problem. Whereas when there are less legal constraints, you use indirect channel. So this is all about the factors determining channels of distribution. Catch up with the next video in promotion. Till then, bye-bye.